Stop whatever you are doing right now, because what I am about to share will either shift the course of your life forever, or you all ignore it and remain stuck exactly where you are for the next 10 years. Just 3 days ago, I watched a man spend 20 minutes explaining himself to someone who clearly had no respect for him, desperately seeking validation from someone who didn't even deserve his presence. Men like this are everywhere. Maybe you're one of them. Maybe you see yourself in these situations. Maybe you're exhausted from being overlooked, underestimated, and treated as if you don't matter. You don't lack confidence because that's who you are by nature. You lack confidence because you were trained to. You were programmed to be predictable, controllable, and manageable. But 5 centuries ago, one man uncovered the real principles. Not the polished rules society preaches, but the raw truths that govern power, influence, and success. His name was Machiavelli, and he wrote the handbook for becoming untouchable. I'm talking about becoming the kind of man who enters a room and immediately draws attention. The kind of man who speaks once and every voice quiets to listen. The kind of man who sets a boundary and never has it crossed. I'm talking about becoming the man who cannot be intimidated, manipulated, or stopped. The one who naturally commands respect. The one who plays by different rules because he operates at a higher level. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you 8 principles that will take you from being ignored to being noticed, from begging for respect to commanding it, from hoping for good outcomes to preparing for great ones. But let me warn you, once you see these truths, you cannot unsee them. Once you understand how power and influence really work, you can never return to being naive. Once you become unstoppable, there is no going back. Now I want you to write this affirmation in the comments. I refuse to be held back. I refuse to be stopped. Are you ready to become unstoppable? Number 1, transform your inner self. Inside you, there are 2 men. One is uncertain, apologetic, and desperate for approval. The other is confident, self-assured, and commands respect. Every single day, you feed one and starve the other. Every decision you make strengthens one and weakens the other. Today, we're going to starve the uncertain man and feed the confident one. That uncertain self is everything you were taught to be. It's the voice that tells you to be nice when you're disrespected. It's what makes you say sorry when you did nothing wrong. It's the part of you that explains yourself to people who should be explaining themselves to you. That programming started early. Your parents wanted you to be good. Your teachers wanted you to be obedient. Society wanted you to be manageable. But manageable men don't create legacies. Manageable men get ignored and forgotten. Your uncertain self has been making your choices for years. It's why you accept disrespect. It's why you give unlimited chances. It's why you prioritize everyone else's needs above your own. It's why you're watching this instead of living the life you want. But here's what your uncertain self doesn't want you to realize. Every time you choose to be nice to someone who doesn't deserve it, you're being cruel to yourself. Every time you let someone cross your boundaries, you're teaching them that your boundaries don't matter. Machiavelli said, "He who is not master of himself will always be a servant of others." Your uncertain self speaks in a different language than your confident self. Learn to hear the difference. The uncertain self says, "I don't want to hurt their feelings." The confident self says, "I don't want to lower my standards." The uncertain self says, "Maybe I misunderstood." The confident self says, "I understood perfectly and I don't accept it." The uncertain self says, "They deserve another chance." The confident self says, "They already had their chance." The transformation of your inner self isn't about rage, it's about strategy. When someone tests your boundary, your uncertain self wants to explain why it's there. Your confident self enforces it without explanation. When someone disrespects you, your uncertain self wants to know why. Your confident self simply delivers consequences. When someone wastes your time, your uncertain self makes excuses for them. Your confident self guards time like treasure. Start noticing which voice is steering your choices. When you're about to apologize for something you didn't cause, that's your uncertain self. When you're about to explain yourself to someone who owes you an apology, that's your uncertain self craving approval. Transform it, not through anger, but through choice. Choose strength over approval. Choose respect over being liked. Choose influence over popularity. Your uncertain self will resist. It will remind you of the people who might not like the new you. It will show you the moments when you tried to be strong and stumbled. It will whisper that being powerful makes you a bad person. Let it resist. Let it complain. Let it transform. Because on the other side of that transformation stands a man who doesn't apologize for existing, a man who doesn't explain himself to those who don't matter, a man who doesn't beg for respect because he naturally commands it. Transform the uncertain self. Feed the confident self. Choose influence. Write this affirmation in the comments. My uncertain self is fading. My confident self is rising. Number 2. Build the fortress mind. Your mind is either your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness. Right now, for most men, it's chaos. Every criticism cuts deep. Every setback feels like an attack. Every challenge stirs an emotional storm. This chaos in your mind is the very thing keeping you stuck. Today, we build a fortress no force can break. A fortress mind does not react with emotion to outside events. It processes with strategy. When someone criticizes you, your fortress mind doesn't take offense. It gathers information about that person's nature. When someone disappoints you, your fortress mind doesn't feel shock. It confirms what it already knew. Most men live chained to their emotions. Anger drives them to reckless choices. Hurt drives them to weak choices. Fear drives them to no choices at all. Their emotions are wild horses, pulling them wherever feelings demand. Your fortress mind is different. Emotions become data. Anger signals someone crossed a line. Pain signals someone revealed their true face. Fear signals growth is near. Stop taking things personally. When someone mistreats you, it's not exposing something about you. It's exposing something about them. When someone tries to manipulate you, it's not proof of your weakness. It's proof of their desperation. Machiavelli said, "A wise man acts in the present, shaping the future." The fortress mind thinks in strategy. It expects betrayal not out of negativity, but out of preparedness. When you expect obstacles, disappointment becomes tolerable. When you expect setbacks, success becomes a reward. Train yourself to see patterns instead of moments. The one who lied once is unreliable. The friend who gossips to you will gossip about you. The person who disrespected you once will do it again if you allow it. Your fortress mind converts everything into lessons. Every conversation teaches human behavior. Every interaction reveals values. Every conflict shows who stands with you. Practice emotional intelligence. When anger rises, pause. Ask, what is this teaching me? When pain hits, study it. What pattern is emerging? When fear comes, examine it. What truth is it pointing at? Fortress mind doesn't erase emotion. It shields you from being ruled by it. You still feel, but feeling no longer controls decision. Logic takes control. Strategy guides action. Influence shapes life. Fragile minds crack at the first sign of pressure. Your mind will stand like stone. Build your fortress. Make it unshakable. Because when it is complete, nothing outside can disturb what is inside. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My mind is a fortress. My thoughts are weapons. Number 3, master the art of silence. The loudest man in the room is often the most insecure. He talks out of nerves. He explains out of doubt. He argues out of hunger for validation. You will be the opposite. You will learn that silence is the truest signal of confidence. When you stop explaining, the shift begins. People start respecting you. They stop questioning your choices. They stop pushing your boundaries. They treat you like someone holding knowledge they don't have. Because you do. You know your worth is not measured by their approval. You owe no one an explanation for your standards. You don't need to justify your boundaries. The moment you explain yourself to someone challenging you, you hand them power. Look at the most powerful people. Do they explain themselves endlessly? Do they justify every step? Do they argue with every critic? Never. They decide, and they move. They set boundaries and enforce them. They speak when words are necessary. Machiavelli said, "The lion does not need to roar to be feared. Silence makes you powerful." When people cannot read you, they respect you. They imagine you are more strategic than you are. They assume you are always calculating. They give you influence you never requested. But silence only works if your words carry weight. Because you save your words, they strike harder. Because you do not waste them, each one matters. Because you don't over-explain, when you finally speak, every ear listens. Begin practicing silence now. When someone throws false accusations, do not defend. Simply observe. When someone demands answers you don't want to give, don't explain, just say no. When someone stirs up drama, don't engage. Just remove yourself. Watch what happens. The person who is used to pulling reactions from you suddenly has no idea how to handle you. They escalate, desperate to get the emotional response they're used to. When they don't get it, they either back off or reveal who they truly are. Either way, you win. Your silence also shields you from words you'd later regret. How many men have destroyed opportunities with things they wished they could unsay? How many fights could have been avoided with one moment of quiet? How many relationships could have been saved by refusing to take the bait? The silent man avoids all of this. He speaks when speaking serves him. He stays quiet when silence protects him. He never hands his opponents weapons they can turn against him. Let other men crowd the air with noise. You'll fill the space with presence. Let them burn energy on chatter. You'll conserve energy for decisive action. Silent men hold influence not because they intimidate, but because they're unpredictable. People can't read them. They can't guess their next move. They can't measure their limits. Let them wonder. Let them guess. Let them respect the mystery. Your silence is your weapon. Wield it wisely. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence speaks louder than their noise. Number 4. Turn setbacks into strength. Here's a truth that will save you endless pain. People will fail you. Your best friend will put himself before the friendship. Your business partner will choose profit over loyalty. People you trust will break that trust when the stakes rise. This isn't negativity. This is reality. And once you embrace it, disappointment becomes manageable because you expected it. Most men collapse under disappointment because they built illusions. They believed people were better than they are. They gave blind trust instead of careful observation. They mistook politeness for integrity. So when betrayal comes, they shatter. They can't understand how it happened. They waste months replaying moments, searching for clues. They live stuck in confusion. You will be different. You'll expect setbacks and convert them into power. Disappointment is not destruction, it's data. It shows you who people become under pressure. It reveals character that smiles and words could never expose. It teaches you truths about human nature no book could give you. Hidden in every disappointment is a gift, the gift of clarity. Before the letdown, you wondered who they were. After it, you know exactly. Machiavelli said, "Men are unpredictable, changeable, and self-serving." The wise man never forgets this. He plans with the assumption that people act for themselves. He keeps backups ready for the day allies turn distant. He never ties his fate to another's hands. But here is the hidden power. Disappointment proves you're advancing. People don't betray those beneath them. They betray those rising above. They betray those who hold what they want. They betray those stepping into success. Every disappointment is evidence you're climbing. Wear it with pride. When disappointment strikes, and it will, respond as a strategist, not a victim. Don't pour energy into hurt feelings. Channel it into sharper thinking. What lesson did this reveal? What adjustment must you make? What weakness did it expose? Sometimes the strongest move is complete removal. Cut them out like poison. No apologies, no explanations, no endless chances. Just gone. Sometimes the strongest move is patience. Remember what they did. Store it away. Wait until timing is right. Then let their own weakness turn against them. Disappointment becomes your teacher. It reveals who's worthy of trust and who deserves distance. It shows you where to guard yourself. It forces you to stand on your own strength, not on borrowed support. The man who has endured disappointment and turned it into wisdom is far stronger than the man who has never been tested. Disappointment is your initiation from blind trust into strategic power. Most men let disappointment harden them into bitterness. You will let it sharpen you into precision. Because when you've been let down by everyone and you're still standing, when you've been abandoned and you're still moving forward, when you've been disappointed by all and you're still rising, that's when you know you've become unstoppable. Number 5, silence your critics with excellence. Here's what uncertain men do when they're criticized. They argue, they defend, they explain, they waste precious energy trying to prove critics wrong. They burn time debating people who were never going to respect them anyway. Here's what you will do. You will excel so completely that criticism no longer matters. Your critics aren't the problem. Your reaction to them is. The moment you argue with critics, you place them on equal ground with you. You declare that their opinion is valuable enough to deserve debate. You give them authority they never earned. Stop honoring bad faith criticism with sincere responses. Stop treating every casual opinion like it deserves your time. Stop letting those who've achieved nothing sit in judgment of someone who's achieving everything. The path to silencing critics isn't through arguments, it's through undeniable results. When your achievements roar louder than their words, criticism chokes in their throats. When your success makes their claims look ridiculous, they stop speaking altogether. Machiavelli said, "Let no one think they can overcome fortune with complaints. But you can overwhelm criticism with sheer dominance. You can bury doubt with consistent progress. You can smother gossip with visible success. Focus on building, not defending. Every minute spent arguing with critics is a minute not spent growing stronger. Every hour wasted explaining yourself is an hour lost in advancement. Let your work speak for you. Let your results shut down the noise. Let your progress end the debate. When people watch you win consistently, their criticism mutates into envy, and envy is simply respect disguised. The man who excels has no need to argue with men who've never achieved. The man who builds empires doesn't debate with men who've never built anything of worth. The man who commands respect doesn't explain himself to those who've never commanded anything. Critics will always exist. There will always be people who misunderstand you, who doubt you, who question you. That's not a problem. That's reality. Use it as fuel. When someone says you can't, prove it with action, not argument. When someone questions your process, let your results be the proof. When someone doubts your potential, let your success shut them down. The goal isn't to convince doubters. The goal is to rise so high that debate becomes meaningless. Silence your critics with excellence. Build something so impressive that criticism looks like jealousy. Achieve something so undeniable that doubt looks like delusion. Stop wasting breath on those who will never value you. Start excelling in ways that force respect through results. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I silence critics with success, not words. Number 6, control your reputation. Every person you meet forms an impression of you within 7 seconds. That impression determines how much respect you're given, how much influence you're allowed, and how seriously you'll be taken. Most men leave this to chance. You will control it with precision. Your reputation isn't just your appearance. It's the atmosphere you carry. It's the feeling people sense when you enter a space. It's the stories told about you when you're not there. Stop talking endlessly. Influential men don't fill silence with chatter. They don't explain every move. They don't justify every decision. The less you speak, the more your words matter. The less you reveal, the more people respect. Mystery attracts. Don't hand out your life story to strangers. Don't reveal your strategies to rivals. Don't share your plans with people who haven't earned your trust. Keep them guessing. Keep them curious. Let your reputation move ahead of you like a signal of power. People should know your standards before they meet you. They should sense your boundaries before they test them. They should respect your strength before they see it. Machiavelli said, "Men judge more by the eye than by the hand." People judge what they see more than what you actually do. Use this reality to your advantage. Control what they see. Your posture tells a story. Stand as if you own the room. Walk as if nothing can slow you. Sit as if you're the most capable man present, even in silence. Your reactions under stress define you. When chaos erupts, be the calm anchor. When fear spreads, be the steady force. When others lose control, be the one in command. Consistency builds reputation. Be the same man under pressure as under praise. Be the same man in victory as in struggle. Be the same man when seen and unseen. Let your actions build your legend. When you need to distance yourself from someone, do it completely and permanently. When you need to stand your ground, don't budge. When you need to make a point, make it unforgettable, but also let your competence speak for itself. Be exceptional at what you do. Be reliable when people rely on you. Be the solution when problems arise. Influence without competence is empty noise. Control the story about who you are. Don't let others define you based on their limited perspective. Don't let past failures become your permanent identity. Don't let opinions of the uninformed shape your reality. You decide who you are. You decide what you represent. You decide how people remember you. Your reputation becomes your tool. Your presence becomes your shield. Your character becomes your greatest asset. Build it deliberately, protect it fiercely, use it strategically. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I control my reputation. My presence commands respect. Number 7, make excellence a discipline. Excellence is not optional. It's not reserved for special moments. Excellence is a daily practice whether anyone is watching or not. Most men think excellence shows in big events. The presentation to the boss, the confrontation with the disrespectful, the moment they finally stand up for themselves. True excellence is forged in invisible moments. How you rise when you don't want to get out of bed. How you handle minor frustrations. How you treat people who cannot repay you. How you act when no one is keeping score. These unseen moments shape your character. Your character shapes your destiny. Your destiny determines whether people respect you or overlook you. Comfort is the enemy of excellence. Comfort makes you predictable. Predictable makes you manageable. Manageable makes you invisible. Choosing comfort over growth is choosing mediocrity over greatness. It's choosing to stay put rather than to ascend. Machiavelli said, "Fortune favors the disciplined." Daily disciplines become your superpowers. Doing what you said you'd do, especially when you don't feel like it, builds unshakable self-trust. Keeping promises to yourself creates unstoppable confidence. Your personal standards become your foundation. When you know what you stand for, nobody can make you compromise. When you know what you won't accept, nobody can push you around. Build disciplines that forge strength. Wake up early even when tired. Exercise even when unmotivated. Do the hardest task first, even when you want to procrastinate. Keep your word even when inconvenient. These aren't mere habits. They are practices of excellence. Each time you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen your mind. Each time you do what you don't want to do, you prove to yourself that you control your life, not your impulses. Others may call you extreme, They may say you're too intense. They may tell you to relax and enjoy life. These are the same men who will turn to you when their undisciplined lives collapse. Let them choose easy. You choose effective. Let them choose fleeting pleasure. You choose enduring strength. Let them choose comfort. You choose excellence. Make excellence your philosophy. Make strength your daily practice. Make discipline your sacred ritual, because life will test you, and it will. The disciplined man succeeds while the comfortable man struggles. Number 8, become unstoppable. This is where all principles converge. This is where you break ordinary limits and enter a realm most men never see. This is where you become unbreakable, unyielding and unstoppable. To be unstoppable means nothing external can disturb your inner peace. Criticism does not shake your confidence. Disappointment does not surprise you. Challenges do not break you. The unstoppable man achieves what most think impossible: total independence from opinions, reactions, and approval of others. This isn't coldness. This is strategic emotional intelligence. You still care, but you don't require validation. You still love, but don't need reciprocation to feel whole. You still connect, but don't need connection to survive. Let them call you confident. Let them call you self-assured. Let them call you independent. Accept these labels without defense or explanation. When average people cannot comprehend your strength, they may try to pull you down. Don't follow. You don't live there anymore. Your influence comes from self-mastery, not external control. Your power comes from internal discipline, not outside validation. Your victory comes from personal excellence, not public approval. Machiavelli once said, "He who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior." You become unstoppable through radical self-reliance. You don't need anyone's permission to be yourself. You don't need anyone's cooperation to build your life. You don't need anyone's approval to pursue your goals. This doesn't mean isolation. It means selectivity. You choose who earns your time, energy, and attention. You decide who deserves your investment. You control who shapes your decisions. The unstoppable man operates from abundance, not scarcity. He has so many options that he's not desperate for a single outcome. He has so much internal strength that he's independent of external support. He has such solid character that no judgment can compromise him. When you become unstoppable, people will constantly test you. They'll look for cracks in your foundation. They'll search for buttons to push. They'll attempt to manipulate or control you. Let them exhaust themselves. They'll find nothing because you've systematically eliminated every weakness. You've transformed your uncertain self. You've built an impenetrable fortress mind. You've mastered the power of silence. You've turned setbacks into fuel. You've learned to never show weakness. You've controlled your reputation. You've made excellence a daily discipline. You've become something beyond ordinary limits. You've become unstoppable. Your challengers will tire themselves trying to bring you down. Your critics will waste energy attempting to shame you. Your doubters will exhaust themselves trying to break you. And you will keep rising because you cannot be stopped, broken, or held back. You've become legendary. You started this journey as one person. You finish it as someone entirely different. The transformation in these few minutes will ripple through every part of your life. You now understand the 8 pillars of unstoppable influence. You know how to eliminate uncertainty and cultivate unwavering confidence. You know how to build mental fortresses impervious to attack. You know how to wield silence as a weapon. You know how to turn setbacks from wounds into fuel. You know how to conceal weakness even when you feel it. You know how to control your reputation like a master strategist. You know how to make excellence a sacred daily practice. You know how to become completely unstoppable. This isn't just knowledge, it's transformation. You are not the same person who clicked on this video. You've evolved. You've awakened. You've become influential. The world will test your new strength immediately. People will push against your new boundaries. Old programming will try to lure you back into uncertainty. Stand firm. You've come too far to retreat now. You're no longer the man who is talked down to. You are the man whose presence commands attention. You are no longer the man who begs for respect. You are the man who expects it and receives it. You are no longer the man who is pushed around by circumstances. You are the man who shapes circumstances to serve his vision. The man watching this conclusion is fundamentally different from the man who watched the introduction. You've been empowered. You've been transformed. You've been made unstoppable. Your uncertain self is transformed. Your fortress mind is operational. Your silence is loaded and ready. Your setback fuel tank is full. Your weakness is hidden from prying eyes. Your reputation is fully under your control. Your excellence discipline is unshakable. Your unstoppable status is achieved. You cannot be held back because your influence transcends words. You cannot be broken because your strength is absolute. You cannot be stopped because your victory was decided the moment you chose transformation over comfort. The world is waiting for you to claim your place. Stop asking for permission. Stop hoping for opportunities. Stop waiting for someone to give you what you can take yourself. You are unbreakable. You are unbending. You are unstoppable. Now go out and prove it. This is your moment. This is your influence. This is your time. Take everything.